Today is finally the day. You're looking at buying a new camera and you're trying to figure out which option is the best for you. And this video right here is going to give you a good head start on what it is you need to know about buying a new camera, lenses, etc., and how to use your camera to make more money as you do this because cameras are very expensive and the last thing you want is to spend all this money and to not make money with it. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to buy your first camera and what to do with it to get your return on investment. The first thing you have to do, no matter what, is understand why you're buying a camera. Are you buying a camera for your own content creation? Are you buying a camera for weddings, corporate video shoots, music videos, event videography? It could be anything, but you have to understand this because this right here is going to determine which model and which cameras you buy. And one of the best things that I tell people to do to start off with cameras is to first pick a price point. After you pick your price point, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna cost you between $1,000 to $2,000 range is a great place to start. Most people are not gonna spend, $4,000 on their first camera. So within the $1,000 to $2,000 range is a great place to start. Now, after you find your price point, next thing you want to ask yourself is, what do I need most out of this camera? Do I need slow motion? Do I need really high megapixels for photography? Do I need 6K? Do I need to shoot 4K in slow motion? Right. And these are things that you have to ask yourself because you have to think about what kind of work you're going to be doing first. At first, when you buy your camera, you're gonna be thinking about, man, I could just jump on anything. I could do photography. I can go shoot at the club somewhere. I can go over here to shoot real estate. But what you want to do is really think hard about, okay, I'm going to be shooting real estate. What do I need for real estate? I probably need some slow motion. I probably need to shoot 4K or 6K to get the max resolution, the max range out of my camera. I probably need great color size. You know what I mean? I probably need 10-bit color. And with that, you can start narrowing down what it is you're going to be using. Currently, right now, I'm using the Panasonic Lumix GH7. And the GH7 does have a small sensor, is micro four thirds, but I'm currently adapting that sensor to use Canon EF lenses. Canon EF lenses are pretty cheap, but they're also pretty quality. So I was like, okay, this is smart. Coming from a Sony system, I used to use Sony and I love Sony. I still have my Sony over here somewhere. And coming from a Sony system where the glass was so expensive, I can go buy secondhand Canon lenses for 200, $300. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that whatever you invest in, whatever system you invest in, you want to keep working with long term. Because what I learned was that I spent so much money on this Sony. And what happened to me was that I spent so much time investing in Sony gear, Sony lenses, whatever. And I ended up moving to another system anyway, and I can't use those lenses on this system. So the best thing you can do is be like, okay, pick a brand. Canon does EF and RF. Sony does E mount and EF mount. Lumix does micro four thirds and L mount. And more cinema lenses are doing PM mount, right? And there are also converters and adapters you can use for these mounts. So do your research on the converters and adapters. Do your research on what lenses are the cheapest but the highest quality, and do research heavily on what frames per second you need to shoot your footage in. Because right now I shoot everything pretty much in 4K 24p. That's what I like for talking head stuff because I'm not shooting a lot of things that need slow motion, right? Even if you're going to be shooting like reels and Instagram stuff, 4K 24p is great. But when you're going into corporate videography, weddings, events, you're going to need that slow motion. So you have wiggle room to make slow motion in your edits. And typically I don't shoot 4K 120 because I don't really think I need to be that slow, but I typically shoot 4K 60 a lot. That's one of the main things when you're coming out to buy this camera is, does this camera have the features you need to get the job done and to make you look good? Because there are plenty of guys that I work with or that I see around my area who I feel are not better than me, but their gear is better than mine. Everybody on YouTube is going to tell you your gear doesn't matter, your lighting doesn't matter, the lenses you use doesn't matter. But I'm here to tell you that is not true. If you want good color science, if you want a certain look, do research on it and see what camera is going to give you that look, what lens is going to give you that look, and how many lights I need to have to make this thing work. Because not only does camera and lenses matter, well, lighting matters, but I'll get into that later on. Now, after you've done research on the price point, you've made a decision on the part that you're going to be doing, you've looked up frame rates, you figured all this stuff out. What is next? The next thing you need to do is spend time understanding how lenses work. And the more you know how these lenses work and the minimum focus distance, and I need f2.8 because I want background blur, or I want f1.4 because I want buttery smooth interviews. This is all important. Some lenses have variable apertures that go from 2.8 to 4. And if you zoom in, the aperture changes. I don't like that. I've never been a fan of that. This is going to be more expensive to get lenses that have one aperture, especially ones that are very, very shallow, like 2.8, 1.8. This is a 1.4. You know what I'm saying? So this is a little bit more pricey. But you need to know exactly what it is you're looking for. Do you want heavy background blur? Are you shooting landscape? If you're shooting landscape, you don't need a f2.8 if you don't want to. You can get a f4 that goes all the way up to f16. You can get everything in focus, and that's perfect. But you should only buy a lens if it's going to improve what you're doing or you need it for a certain situation. For example, I'm shooting on a Sigma 1835 right now. I love it. It fits well in my space. That's all I need. Now, if I went and bought a 75 millimeter, right? If I had a 75 millimeter f2.8 or f1.8 and I put it on this camera, I'm gonna have to like adjust my head and like move further back and do this and do that. You don't want to do that. You want to focus on what's gonna fit your space and what focal length you actually need. Promise you, if you're shooting real estate, you want to get like a 10 millimeter, a 10 to 18 or a 10 to 15. There are zoom ranges and stuff you can use, but this is going to be perfect for you because you get all of the wideness, you get all of the space, and then you can get another lens for more detailed shots. You want to show how a lamp looks. You want to show how, how flowers look outside. That's what you need to do. You need to have a nice lens combo where you can go from 18 to 35, 24 to 70, 70 to 200. That right there is like your holy trinity. And once you get these lenses, you will be ready to go. Now, one of the main things you also want to do is look at what new cameras are coming out first. You want to see when the release dates are. You want to make sure you're ahead of the game on any new products. Because what happens is oftentimes with this camera market now, is that new products will come out and you be like, bro, I just bought this shit 2 weeks ago. Or I just bought a new camera 3 months ago. And this one came out and it's so much better and has everything I need. So before you buy that camera, get on B&H Photo, look online. And after you pick the brand you want, type in, for example, Sony new cameras, Panasonic new cameras. Because I think Panasonic's announcing something now. And what you want to do is be like, okay, when is this going to come out? Oh, February? Okay, well, why would I buy a new camera now if the new camera is about to drop in February? I can just see what the price point is. I can see if they're going to have a discount on older cameras, right? Because cameras last forever. And obviously, they have a discount on older cameras, and I can go from there. So, one of the main things I wanted to end this video with is that cameras and equipment do matter. Don't let anybody on YouTube tell you they do not, because I've made that mistake before. I bought a BS camera that was kind of okay and was like a starter camera. But what you want to do is buy the best thing you can buy for your budget. I don't care what anybody says. If you see a Sony a6000 for 500 bucks, but you see a Sony a6600 for 600 bucks, you need to go for the a6600. Don't save $100. Don't be cheap. Go out and get the best thing you can get for the best price you can get. If you can get your hands on a Aria for $2,000 compared to a Sony for $1,000, you better damn do it because that Aria is going to last you forever. Not saying this will ever happen to Aria. I know Aria is the top of the line, so I'm sorry about that, Aria. I mean to throw your name in there. But if you can get your hands on any of these cameras that are new or that have prestige for a great price, go for that. Don't buy the cheap stuff. Don't buy the vlogging cameras. Not saying vlogging cameras are bad, but some of you guys don't need vlogging cameras. You guys need full on DSLR, full frame cameras. Or for me, like I went micro four thirds for the Lumix GA7, but GA7 has ProRes internal recording. It has everything I need to create commercials, to create interviews, and to really flex my style. So that's why I bought this camera. And for you guys that are buying a camera, really understand why you're buying it. Understand the work you're going to be doing. Understand your budget and take your time. Don't buy it in a week. Maybe take an extra 3 days afterwards. If after you think you made the decision, take another day or two after to do one more look before you press that add to cart button and swipe that credit card. So I hope this video was helpful, man. You get your first camera pretty soon. And when you get your first camera, comment down below and we're going to talk more about it. If you want to talk more cameras and editing and all that stuff, join my free Discord, or I'm going to give you all the sauce for completely free. Peace out.